Hey guys, Joel's coming at you with another reasoning session, and today I'm going to be talking about how possessing our territory involves dispossessing the enemies that are currently squatting on our land.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
Now, just because we have an inheritance, that doesn't mean that we're going to get possession automatically. There's an enemy that is occupying, but that doesn't mean that he owns it. What you have to do is dispossess the inhabitants before you're able to dwell in the land. And I'm just going to read from the book of Devarim, or Deuteronomy chapter 2 and verse 31. And it says, "And Yahweh said unto me," that's Moses, "Behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before you. Begin to possess it, and you may inherit his land." Now the key word here is that he began to give this king Sihon and his land to the Israelites, but they still had to go in and possess the land. And the whole book actually of Joshua encompasses how they did this. But you see, Source gives it, but we must possess it. Everyone has a portion to inherit in this life, and that's destined from before birth. And it's not just physical or material, but it is spiritual, because Source wants your development to go on into eternity. But the enemy doesn't just give up without a fight. You know, in Joshua, Yahweh repeats the exact same thing he told Moses. This is from the 3rd verse of the 1st chapter. "Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses." But just because you walk there, is the enemy just gonna leave? In the book Bamidbar, or in the wilderness if you translate it to English, this is the book of Numbers, and in chapter 33 verse 55, Yahweh tells Moses, "But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your side, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell." Meaning, if you don't dispossess them, they will vex you. There'll be pricks in your eyes, meaning you'll never be able to see properly. You'll never have that perspective as Source does from the pinnacle of the universe. You must know your enemies, and honestly, every area has its own principalities. You know, the old saying goes, different levels, different devils. In Luke 10, Jesus prophesied over the regions and dealt with the principalities ruling those areas. And when the disciples returned, they were astonished, and they told him that even the devils are subject unto us through your name. You see, it wasn't the disciples that were doing anything of their own. It was that when they came at the kingdom of evil in the name of Jesus, the kingdom of evil only saw Jesus, and they reacted that way. And yes, they were subject to that. If it was just you and me humans, we might think we have authority over them, but we really don't. It's in the power of the living Logos, not just some etheric prana energy. I'm talking about the real Christ that is resurrection power. When you have that on your side, demons cannot stand up to you. And literally all curses, all hexes, any evil word literally spoken against you is dissolved and sent back to where it came from, because they can't stand in the presence of the living Christ. So let's step up and really claim that power, our sovereignty, in the connection that Source is just beaming to us all along. We have the connection, and now it's up to us to accept it and to act on it. So do your part and tap in. Accept the living Christ, and you too will become a demon slayer. So I love you guys. I'll check you in the next reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape, Salaam, Namaste, Shalom.